Hello and welcome to Patched. I'm your host, Paul James. Today I'm joined by Matto Phillips. How's things, mate?
Great.
We're on the eve of Summer
Yes.
Games Fest. We're on the eve of Xbox Showcase. We're on the eve of, well, potentially, I mean, it's sometime this month, Nintendo Directs. There's a lot of, and we're off the back of a PlayStation State of Play. So we've kind of hit that
Oh yeah.
time of the year where all the showcases are going. We did do those PlayStation State of Play or Showcase predictions a couple of weeks back, and I think we ticked a couple boxes, but mostly thanks to a crazy Chinese presence in the showcase, we struck out mostly. But that's just what we do with our predictions, and so we're going to drop a whole bunch more today and get them wrong too.
Yeah. When we say we, it was mainly Paul.
Oh, did you do it right in the end?
I got none.
Oh,
I honestly think I got none.
um,
Because mine were all PlayStation based, but you said, I'm pretty sure you did say Monster Hunter Wilds.
Monster Hunter. I think I talked about Astro, maybe.
Maybe Silent Hill? I'm not sure.
Yeah,
Can't
I
remember.
think I did suggest Silent Hill would pop up because of their little
Yeah.
marketing deal. I think so. And look, I was lucky to get that considering there was a Silent Hill showcase immediately after. I didn't think there was any chance that it was going to be in the showcase, but State of Play, but it was there as well. So yeah, I did. Yeah, actually, good point. I did okay. Well, let's see how we go with this
I
one
got
then,
none.
because I should have tallied some stuff up beforehand, but none of that. So
Yeah, I
we're
think I
gonna
was
go.
more looking at mine, see how many I got. I was like, yep, straight zeros. Straight donuts. That's what I got.
I really should keep these things. I write them in my phone notes just like I have today, and then I delete them afterwards. So I probably need to keep those just in case. Actually, they might be my deleted items. Recently
In the
deleted.
old, maybe in the trash can, if that's a thing.
No, maybe I made them up on the spot. I don't know. We'll see.
Just
Anyway,
winged it.
it's only the best podcasters make it up as they go, and we're only one step worse than those people where we organised exactly what we're going to do about 30 minutes beforehand. So let's
30 minutes.
yeah. Oh well,
30 minutes.
we
I was going to
decided.
say, I was going to about say 3 minutes.
Well, yeah.
Like, right, we're doing this. Okay,
We
done.
discussed
Go.
doing 5 games each from 3 different events that are coming up this month: Summer Games Fest, the Xbox plus Bethesda plus Activision Showcase, and Nintendo Direct. Again, we know when Summer Games Fest and Xbox are. They're both kind of in the space of the next 7 days as of when we record this. Nintendo doesn't have a date yet, but you'd imagine is not too far behind. We'll start with Summer Games Fest, and because Matto had a whole bunch more predictions than myself, we're actually going to start with me for a bit of a change, and I'll kind of drop the 5 predictions I've got, and then we can kind of top it off with anything of yours that I've not already covered. So my first one, and I'm just going to get this out of the way now because it's almost just expected that I'm going to cover
Go
this
on,
sometime.
go on, yeah, go
So
on.
let's
Go
just
on,
let's just
get
get
it out of
Hollow
the way.
Knight Silk Song out of the way now.
Get it out of the way.
Surely, whether it's Summer Games Fest or Xbox or Nintendo, surely one of those three have the date. But I'll put it on Summer Games Fest because as far as indies go, maybe even including Hades, I feel like this might be even. I feel like Hollow Knight is an even bigger indie than Hades. And if it's not, they're basically on fairly equal footing. Jeff likes big names, and if he was able to get Hollow Knight and get a date, and even, God forbid if it was and it's available now sort of thing, it's huge. So let's just I'll put Hollow Knight out of the way now, but I'll jump to the rest of my list here. Judas, I've got Judas getting
Oh,
dated
yeah.
after
Forgot about Judas.
after Ken Levine only. I'm gonna say it was about 2 months ago now. He had the Friends Per Second podcast, which has got Australia's own Skill Up and a few others on it, and then Ryan McCaffrey from IGN. I think it was basically just those two outlets, if I recall. He'd kind of allowed them in to go hands on with the game and check it out and put some previews out there. I feel like that we're at the beginning of kind of a marketing, a PR sort of blitz that's potentially coming for this one, and that was kind of the tip of the spear, and then maybe you let the masses get their hands on it through Summer Games Fest. Maybe you drop a date, or you kind of at least drop a Q4 2024 sort of window, whatever it happens to be. I feel like we're about to get a Judas release date. Does that feel possible?
Yes, I completely forgot about it until you said it right now.
It's
Thought,
been 10 years since Bioshock Infinite. More than
I
10
know,
years.
I saw that. I saw 10 years ago, Bioshock. I think it's more than 10 years.
Yeah, it's 11 years now.
It's still ridiculous. I think
2013.
The Witcher 3 is almost 10 years old. That's
Nah,
depressing.
won't accept that.
Almost. I know, me either.
Won't accept that. Still better than most games that have come out since.
I know, shocking.
So yeah, Judas I think might turn up. Another game I guess that was kind of discussed I think in our PlayStation Showcase predictions that I think I'm hoping at the time that I kind of specified that I thought was actually then going to pop up at Summer Games Fest specifically is Ghost of Tsushima 2. That is, or whatever the sequel to Ghost of Tsushima is. I think it's a pretty easy assumption to make at this point. There's obviously the PC version of the original game that's just come out. Because it wasn't a showcase, it was a state of play. You could kind of expect the scale of things to be a little bit smaller. But with Summer Games Fest right off the back of it, and Jeff kind of touting that PlayStation is a part of it, you think, okay, they probably saved a heavy hitter for it. And I think Ghost is probably the obvious one. There's some other talk about Spider-Man DLC and those sorts of things that, and potentially even Venom, that may. Sorry, people who haven't checked out the Insomniac leak. There's speculation about those things, but I think for me, if you're PlayStation, you're bringing your biggest hitter for the next presumably 12 to 18 months out, and that's Ghost of Tsushima 2. So I think that'll turn up. Persona 6, I couldn't care less really about Persona for the most part, but I was tossing and turning as to whether I thought this was going to appear at Summer Games Fest or Xbox, because Xbox has been throwing a bit of money at Sega in the last couple of years. They made a big deal about getting all the Persona games on Game Pass. They've been promoting that Metaphor Re-Fantasio. It's from the team who did Persona 5, or Persona 6 is being developed on somewhere else. There's rumors that suggest that kind of, I don't know, I couldn't care less about it and I didn't think it was overly important, but apparently the Persona games have like a color theme. And there's, like the last one was red and the one beforehand was blue.
Oh, blue and yellow, yeah, okay.
And they've had yellow ones and that sort of thing. Apparently this one is green. And while I don't think that's necessarily meant to be saying, hey, we're doing stuff with Xbox, I think Xbox would be foolish to not go, well, all right, let's link this in and make it kind of a big deal for Team Green. So I could see that being there, and then maybe a bit more at the Xbox showcase.
Wait, hang on. There's a good point here to get all the Persona games on Xbox, the Windows edition. We have all 4 colors. We got yellow, we got blue, we got red, we got green.
Where's my Xbox control? Yeah, press A for Persona 6. I had to remember my buttons.
X or X to pay respects.
Yeah.
They own that too now.
Classic, that one. So while I think there's a chance of popping up the Xbox one, I'm going to say that Jeff is going to lock that one down. I think Xbox is going to focus a little bit more on Metaphor because that's the one that they've already kind of announced a partnership with. I think that is, I believe, if I remember, that was a Game Pass game as well. So Jeff then might get the big dog, which is Persona 6. And lastly, for Summer Games Fest, I think most people had kind of expected it to pop up at the PlayStation State of Play, and it didn't. But Capcom was there with Monster Hunter. I think it's at Summer Games Fest where they're going to show off. Well, what I was originally going to say was just Resident Evil 9, but did you see the leak over the weekend? It was like a retail leak or something like that, where something posted early. Not only was the talk Resident Evil 9, but the talk was Resident Evil 9, 0, and Code Veronica. So remakes of those two, and then 9 being announced as a new one.
Oh, okay.
So I'll kind of put stock on the fact that, okay, if it's not PlayStation, then it's Summer Games Fest. So my final Summer Games Fest prediction there is that Resident Evil 9, 0, and Code Veronica are all announced. It feels like a lot of Resident Evil, but the talk is RE9 is meant to be early-ish next year. I'll believe in that, and then the idea that they're going to say, okay, now these 2 remakes that you really want, we'll do those as well. I don't know when they're going to actually remake the first game again, but some of the games that haven't been remade yet, 0 and Code Veronica are some of the most in demand, and why not?
Yes, the GameCube exclusive, no more. What a shame.
Yeah, did Code Veronica, or are you talking about 0?
Zero was.
Yeah, Code Veronica was a PS1 game, wasn't it?
I think so. I believe, yes, off the top of my head, it was a PS1 game. Because that's where Resident Evil was back in the day. It was just on.
Yeah, it came out in 2000, so yeah, the originally released for the Dreamcast, but yeah, PS1 game.
Oh, that went well.
And then 0, I'm pretty sure, like you said, was a GameCube game. 6.5 from IGN. But yeah.
Wow. 0.5
GameCube,
below their
GameCube,
standing.
PS4, and then it's made its way to Switch, Wii, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One since.
Oh, everything. So it's just gone.
Well, that'll be just like, okay, now we've put it on, a remaster or whatever, or re-release on more modern platforms. But yeah, I think this could be the remake. The remake anyway. Well, those are mine. I don't know if you've got any other thoughts on any of those ones that I mentioned. Otherwise, jump on over to whatever you've got prepared for
I was going
the
to
Jeff's
say,
birthday party.
I wrote about 16 down. You crossed off 1,
Oh, well, I guess
which was Resident Evil. I had.
I guess we'll see whether some of the ones that you go for here potentially knock some off my Xbox and Nintendo list. But
I don't think so, because I don't think I really took it that seriously
okay,
for some of it. But I will. The first one, I will combine the 3. So might be one of these 3. Who knows? Either Alan Wake 2 DLC.
yep. Oh
Control
yeah,
2.
that's holy shit, mate. That's like a sure thing at this point. I
That's
think.
a sure thing. That's a lock-in. Or the other 2, just curveballs. Either Control 2, which I don't think highly unlikely, or
Yeah, it feels soon.
Max Payne 1 and 2 remaster.
The remake?
The remake, remaster, whatever the hell you want to call it.
So some sort of, as well as Alan Wake 2, you're thinking some
well
sort
as
of
Alan Wake
additional
2.
Remedy presence.
While they're on a high with Alan Wake 2, you might as well just get either one of those games and go, hey, we're making this next, while you enjoy Alan Wake 2 and its musical features of whatever the Asgard people look. I forgot what the band's called. Gosh darn it, I forgot. There's something of Asgard.
The old gods of Asgard. Oh, if we could just have another performance just because.
Yeah, just fill in some time. And if you need to get something going or you've forgotten something, just bring them out. Have another classic choreography-based dance-off. I don't care. Maybe do a Just Dance collaboration. I don't care. Don't do that. You'll ruin it. All the porkies. So that's my first one. The second one,
It's
I know there is
though.
also.
It's a good start. Also, actually, sorry, I guess I'm interrupting a smidge, but did you see that Remedy kind of rebranded themselves over the weekend?
Was that because someone got upset with their logo?
Oh no, I think that's people taking the piss a little bit. But they've called themselves Poison Pill Entertainment since 1995 Night Springs City, which is obviously Night Springs being the big Alan Wake reference. We've seen Sam Lake kind of dropping eyeball emojis and all sorts of things on Jeff's related stuff. I think you're 110% that Alan Wake 2 DLC is going to be there, and then it's just how crazy do they go from there? I think. But yeah, I don't understand the poison pill thing, but that's what they've renamed themselves on social media in the last week.
We'll soon find out. Maybe it's a reference we don't know about. Maybe it's I don't know. The next one, I do know Ubisoft's got some sort of
Ubisoft Forward.
Creative. It's not Star Wars. Star Wars will be a big thing for them. But I reckon we might get a trailer for a new Far Cry game.
Oh yeah.
Or maybe not the Far Cry game, or who being Far Cry games, who the nemesis is.
No, that checks out. That's a good one, actually.
Whoever they find out. I don't know what other angry... Maybe... Who's that guy that's... I don't know. Just... I can't remember. I was just thinking of some actor that would be... Will Smith. Get Will Smith. Get Will Smith. He's not doing much at the moment. Get him to do...
I remember...
Or Tom Hardy.
There were Far Cry rumors and leaks going back like a year now, but the talk is that it's headed to Korea, apparently.
Well, so Squid Game becomes massive, and all of a sudden, everyone wants to go to Korea.
Exactly.
I mean, no, don't be serious. What part of Korea, I should say, is it? Are we going for a South Park Team America piss take here, or are we?
I don't know.
Hans Springs? Is Hans Springs?
But yeah, I don't know about that either. But yeah, apparently the report that I remember reading was talking about you were actually working to like a timeline, like you had 72 hours. I presume like 72 in-game hours to save a sibling or something like that. It was like an insider gaming leak. So Tom Henderson and the crew that always do an awesome job. There was something about like sibling, and I think it was like 3 days, so 72 hours, whatever it is, to actually. It felt very Majora's Mask in a way. You got 72 hours, and then we'll blow the head off your sibling or whatever it is.
Oh,
Which
great.
could be cool. Like it could be really cool if it's like 72 in-game hours. You're tempted to go on off and explore, but no, we're actually going to have a mechanic here in place that is guiding you towards the main path all the time. Because if you fail to do that, your brother, sister, family, mother, whoever it is, wife,
Dog,
they're
whatever.
dead.
We'll go on full John Wick here.
Yeah.
Dog.
So it kind of forces you to go campaigning first, and then go off and explore after if that's what you want. Could be an interesting one, but yeah, I think it's a good prediction though. I haven't heard that bubble up when it comes to Summer Games Fest, but I think that actually is that's a brilliant prediction.
Yeah, trying to figure out what else I got because there's just a whole. I just wrote down like a whole heap of shit here. I put Guitar Hero Return. It's not happening. I just thought it'd be funny if.
Yeah, probably not.
Probably not. But I know Xbox has got Activision now, but they're not going to release Guitar Hero. That's just silly. But let me try and find something here. Just for the sake of it, they'll probably just do something stupid with another Five Nights at Freddy sequel movie. I know it sucks, but people went and watched it, which was a bad idea, silly idea. Don't just as good as the game.
I think we have a
Please
Five
don't
Nights at Freddy's coming out this month.
A game?
Yeah.
A movie?
No, what was it?
I think I do remember. Was it a VR thing?
Yeah.
I can't remember. Yes, I
remember
vaguely remember it. But yeah, I think it was my face. Was
Help Wanted 2. Yeah, Help Wanted 2, and it's apparently it's already out on PC, so maybe scrap that. It's just coming to PlayStation this month, I guess.
Or maybe a movie. I don't know. Another movie.
Let's
silly, pointless
light
movie.
that on fire. Burn that one up.
Stay away from that, Jeff. Stay away.
Nights at Freddy's, Help Wanted 2, yeah. June 20. But that's just
there we go.
Interesting, but not really. It can go.
It can go in the bin. That one.
Your movie, though, idea, yeah, possibly. Jeff doesn't mind that sort of product placement as well, so...
Anything for money.
You're thinking outside the box.
As I hate to say it. My next one is a game we've seen very little over the years. We've seen a trailer of a grand total, I would say, of 5 minutes. Oh, actually, that's another. I forgot about that. Oh, damn it. Okay, there's that one too. I just remembered another game that just popped up. Mass Effect. That's the one I'm thinking of now.
Oh, yes.
But the other one that popped in, and just what I said, when I was thinking about space, was the Matthew McConaughey one as well. I keep forgetting what it's goddamn called. But yeah, the one that Matthew McConaughey will come back out and talk about whatever that car he was.
Exodus.
Exodus, that's the one. That one
Yeah,
might pop up. That's one of my predictions. I'm going with Mass Effect because we saw the trailer of a man in a cape, a person in a cape, I should say, and that was it. I want more.
Big call, mate, with Dragon Age still to come out.
Yeah, but no one's heard from Dragon Age either. We've seen more Mass Effect content.
Sounds like it's really
Dragon
close.
Age content. I know, but it's just weird. They keep showing Mass Effect or 2 Mass Effect videos and nothing from Dragon Age, even though they've been working on Dragon Age probably this whole time.
Yeah, pretty much the whole time.
Nothing. And then I don't know how many that is. I've lost count, but I'm going with my final one.
Just keep churning them out.
My final one, because it was a big hit a couple of years ago. I reckon a sequel's coming along. Power Wash Simulator 2.
Oh, can you? That feels like the stupid sort of thing that Jeff would go for. And I don't mean like in a disrespectful to Jeff kind of way, but like that feels like the sort of thing where he'd go, people are going to froth over this, and it's just a stupid gimmicky
and people loved it.
Yeah.
People are there for hours just power washing the ground, the car, the van. Just for some nice relaxation, or Power Wash Simulator in VR if it hasn't been done yet. Which, if they haven't done that yet, there's a bit sense why they don't do it because no one's on VR. On PlayStation, maybe on PC, yes. And then for another one, I just thought because people talk about this all the time and they get angry about it. Frame Rate Simulator. just because people get so angry about, oh, it's not 60 frames a second. Well, now, here is a simulator where you can have 60 frames a second or 120 frames a second.
We're not showing you anything, but look at that frame rate.
Look at the speed of that ball go, or look at the smoothness of that ball in 60 frames a second. Idiots.
People lose their minds.
Absolute morons.
Well, keep some of those other games there on your list, because if they don't pop up through Xbox and Nintendo talks, I'm keen to hear what you've got to say. But we'll jump across to Xbox then. They've got a pretty important showcase, I would say, this week, considering all of the talk about being multi-platform and even just what it means to have Activision and Call of Duty in the house now. That said, none of my predictions focus on Activision at all, because we already know Call of Duty is going to be there. Toys for Bob is gone, but they're kind of working exclusively with Xbox, and maybe that might link into one of my predictions. But
no Guitar Hero.
Yeah, I don't think we're seeing Guitar Hero. We're not seeing. Yeah, I don't know if there'll be a big Activision presence yet. They announced a new studio recently. I think we maybe discussed it on the show, but they announced a new studio recently.
We did, yes.
But that's obviously at the very that's at square one, so that's going to take a fair while. So we'll jump into my predictions then for Xbox. Perfect Dark, I think, returns. I think they need to show some signs of life. Not because I think it's necessarily...
I know.
Not necessarily because I think it's going to be some sort of Game of the Year winner or anything like that, and probably not even coming out this year, maybe not even next year either, but I think that we're at a point where they need to show a sign of life again. There's been so much negativity and skepticism about it. There's been so many dodgy reports and those sorts of things that I think it's pretty imperative for Xbox to kind of get out there and just show that the game has a pulse. Show why it's a quadruple A game, because that was also the biggest mistake they could have done, and also maybe show us a little bit of what Crystal Dynamics is doing, because we know they're kind of working on a Tomb Raider. We know that they're working on Perfect Dark, but
maybe not so. Oh, no, yes, Crystal Dynamics. I'm thinking of the initiative. I'm getting them mixed up. No, yes, it's Crystal Dynamics. Maybe Tomb Raider. Maybe they'll just come out and go, here's Tomb Raider instead. Sorry.
I think if that's the case, they'll have to very quickly come out and say, "Don't worry, it's multi-platform." Because do you remember last time an Xbox show had a Tomb Raider game on it? It was Rise of the Tomb Raider back in 2015, and they announced it as an exclusive, and everyone knew it wasn't going to be the case. But Crystal Dynamics couldn't say so, Square Enix couldn't say so, Xbox couldn't say so, and it just kind of completely derailed all of their marketing and their PR, because everyone's going, "Well, no, surely it's coming to PlayStation. The franchise was born on PlayStation. Surely it's going to come back." And so it didn't do. It kind of killed the game, really. And it was arguably the best. Well, I'd probably say inarguably, actually, the best of the three Tomb Raider, Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider games. But yeah, it kind of got drowned out by the fact that firstly it launched, I think, the same day as Fallout 4, but also the fact that it takes us way back 2015.
Oh God,
I'm pretty sure it was Fallout 4 that launched day and date with, but I'll check that in a sec. But if you're not already on it, but no. Yeah, the marketing was totally messed up because of the exclusivity thing. Gears 6 is my next one. This feels like a sure thing. I
put Gears 5 for some reason in my notes. Good correction. I would have said Gears 5 if I went first.
Bailed you out there. Gears 6 is I feel like a pretty sure thing at this point. It's been, 2019 was when Gears 5 came out, and 2020 was when we saw the Hivebusters DLC. And yes, we've had some Gears since, with the Gears Tactics being launched, I guess, later in 2020 for the Xbox Series X launch, and came out on PC a couple months prior to that. But we're due for some Gears, and I'm wondering if maybe it's not a 1-2 punch where they don't go, here's Gear 6, but in the meantime, while you're waiting, because I think the studio has been the coalition has been working with other teams. I believe, I've forgotten their name now, but the team that does State of Decay, and they've been kind of lending their Unreal Engine expertise out within the Xbox family. So they might be a little bit further behind than I think we'd all would have liked. But maybe that means that in the meantime, we get that Gears collection that everyone keeps willing into existence. And as a PlayStation fan, I mean,
does it feel right?
Oh no, right. That feels so good. I cannot wait to be able to play what I hope is like the Gears remastered, obviously, that we got in whatever year that was. But then Gears 2 remastered, Gears 3 remastered, all in one package on PlayStation. That'd be And look, they may not announce that, and I doubt they would be launching that day and date. I think that would be the sort of thing where they go, it's on Xbox, and then maybe in 12, 24 months, suddenly there's a PlayStation version. But I'll wait. Just announce it, and I'll be ready to buy it on PlayStation when the time comes. So Gears 6, I think, is the main one, but I wouldn't rule out a possibility of like a collection finally surfacing as well. My next one, I've just kind of said something family friendly, because I think they need that. Obviously, Nintendo does that easily. PlayStation is kind of leaning into things a little bit with Astrobot, and now that's obviously announced for September 6th, I think it is, this year. Meanwhile, Xbox is still kind of shooters and racing games and stabbing people with swords and all sorts of stuff. They've obviously, Fable.
Oh, right.
Yeah. Which I haven't discussed in mine, but may or may not come up across the journey here. You look at the Xbox family, and they've got plenty of IP that they could leverage, whether it's Activision with Crash Bandicoot and maybe Toys for Bob's kind of working on something there, or someone internally is. They've got Spyro, they've got Banjo-Kazooie, and I just desperately want it to be Banjo, but I just think there might need to be some sort of family-friendly thing here. They're trying to win people over, they're trying to get people to buy Xbox, and you can get little kids on board with cool, cute, fun characters, and any of Crash, Spyro, and Banjo would absolutely do that. I know there's a lot of nostalgia for us, but I think there's kids that will look at that and go, awesome. It was only a week ago that I helped set up a colleague, one of her kid, he's 5 years old and wanted to get an Xbox. I tried to pitch them on PlayStation. I tried to pitch them on Switch. For some reason, they wanted Xbox, but then it was, okay, well, we'll get, I helped them get their first few games, and it was Lego this, and they're all very family-friendly things. If you can get people in the door with a cool mascot, you're going to get kids. You're going to get your console sales up. Do it.
You know what you got to do? A Paw Patrol Xbox cover. Just go Wiggles, Paw Patrol, Ben 10,
Bluey.
I don't know what other cartoons are out these days. Pokemon. Oh, no, you can't do that.
You can't do that one.
Power World, you can do that.
Yeah, you can do. Oh, Power.
But that's not family
super
friendly.
family friendly.
That's not family friendly. You can't go butchering up your pals.
I wonder if there's like a Pal World update. But anyway, I'll leave that for discussion later. But yeah, something family friendly. And I like you, Banjo would be the dream, I think. And for me, then closely followed by Spyro, because Spyro's unreal.
But who do you want making Banjo though?
I mean, they've still got Toys for Bob working with them, so maybe Toys for Bob is working on it. Maybe it needs to be Rare. Maybe Everwild is dead. The Rare game that they're also working on, as well as Sea of Thieves. Maybe they've already dropped that one now and gone, all right, let's go back to our bread and butter and not make it about building carts and cars and stuff, and let's just make a Banjo platform.
Bolts. Yeah, don't do that.
So,
no nuts and bolts.
No nuts and bolts too. Let's get straight up a Banjo game. So we know Phil wants it. Phil's acknowledged the crowd. If you recall, there was those comments late last year that he's like, we hear Banjo fans, we hear you, and that doesn't confirm anything one way or the other.
Well, if that was Don Matrick, he would have said, if you want to go play Banjo-Kazooie, there is a place for that.
It's called an Xbox One, an Xbox 360, or a Nintendo 64.
I was going to say Nintendo 64. That's no.
Yeah, you can't rule it out. Next up is a pair of pretty straightforward ones. I'm just kind of bundling these two together. Release dates for both Avowed and Indiana Jones. I think that's kind of almost their bread and butter for this particular event. They're just a given. I'm skipping one other big one that I assume you're going to discuss here, and if you don't, I'll tack it onto the end. But my last one is a little bit of a wish. Back in the Xbox 360 days, they had a bit of a focus on JRPGs for a while there because they wanted to try and win the Japanese audience. They didn't, but they also got some pretty cool games over that time. And the best of those that they actually managed to get as exclusive, and it's still exclusive to this very day, is Lost Odyssey, which came from some of the ex-Final Fantasy folks. Yeah. And that is still kind of like an all-time great JRPG that hardly anyone's played because JRPG people don't typically play on Xbox for the most part because everything else is on Nintendo and PlayStation. I'd love to see that game either get remade, to get a sequel, whatever. there's talk that the team is up to some cross-platform stuff anyway, because I heard rumblings recently that games on the Apple Arcade are now eligible to go to other platforms. And, or like, I guess that first batch of Apple Arcade games, and one of the first games that hit that was Fantasian from the same team, which is also considered one of the best mobile RPGs, and not because they're nickel and diming. In fact, there's none of that through the Apple Arcade. So I'm hopeful that, yeah, maybe Lost Odyssey pops up, but it seems like they've got a couple of things on their plate right now. So I'm going to put some stock in a JRPG presence of some sort. They've kicked out their only Japanese studio, that maybe they're going to go and try and throw a bit of love behind some Japanese stuff between Metaphor, ReFantasio, and then Square Enix Visions of Mana. They showed that off during the, what do they call it, developer _ direct. Maybe they announced something exclusive as well. I assume you don't have any thoughts on JRPGs, so over to you.
None whatsoever.
You have finished Final Fantasy VII Remake, though. That's cool.
I did finish it. Finally. Still,
final.
Barrett is a nice guy. Leave him alone.
Yeah, get around him. More in the updates episode at the end of the month.
So my first one is, for some reason, just because they'll just talk about how great the Fallout TV show was.
Of course.
Or they'll just get the actors. I don't know. Like, it's just one of those things, because they need a win at the moment, Xbox. They need to come out with something big so you can completely forget about the 4 studios they shut down until later on in the year when they shut down more studios. Another two. See you later. What's your name?
Ninja Theory.
Yeah, that's the one.
Sorry, guys.
Nice knowing you. So they need a win. That's like, so yeah, Gear 6 and all that. What else do I have? Probably some Forza, because you can't have a showcase of Xbox without having something Forza-like.
It's true.
Even if it's just the car in the background on a carousel just spinning around for no reason whatsoever.
It's like your chips and a Coke. You have your Gears with your Forza, with your Fable, with your Halo.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Halo.
Yeah, that's almost due, but anyway.
I completely forgot about that's how little care I had for Halo, because it didn't go well.
It's in a bad place, that franchise, right now.
Yes.
Bring it to PlayStation. That'll help. That'll help a lot.
That'll boost the sales.
Oh my god!
They need to make a good Halo game.
If Microsoft wants money from Xbox, that's how you get it.
That's how they make their money now. It's like, right, we need to get some more money for this game. What do we do? Let's put a game on PlayStation. Done.
Remaster every single... Well, sorry, they've already done that in the Master Chief Collection, but don't worry about putting them out in the Master Chief Collection. Send them out to PlayStation owners, one game at a time, and make them pay $60, we'll say Aussie, $60 Aussie per game.
They'll buy it.
The first 5 games, let alone Infinite, maybe Infinite wouldn't fit this bill. The first 5 games alone makes you $300.
I was going to say, that's also an absolute mockery at PlayStation, because you just send it over a first-person shooter game, something that
they don't have.
Been absolutely lacking on PlayStation at the moment. It's like,
yeah.
Hey, you want a first-person? Here, have this. Have our
one.
Most loved, our game of the year, Halo 2.
And I think it's over.
3.
If Halo makes it to PlayStation, Xbox may as well pack up. It's done. Your third party at that point. That's it. Don't even pretend anything else.
They might as well just burn down the Xbox factory with whatever the consoles they have left,
yeah.
or just give them out for free. They're not going to sell.
It's true. I mean, Gears is probably in the same boat, but Halo's the one. If Halo goes, Xbox is as an exclusive console manufacturer, it's over. But we weren't talking about Halo, so yeah, sorry, Forza makes sense.
Makes sense. And then something I know it's Obsidian as well. Outer Worlds 2.
Oh yeah.
It won't. I don't think there'll be a release date on it or when. Like, whatever. They'll just show some gameplay, not their high dramatic game trailer that they showed last time, because they had nothing. But I reckon it might make an appearance, because Obsidian just seem to be carrying Xbox at the moment, so they might as well just keep putting out games, and Xbox will say, "Hey, thanks for making us look good while we stuff up everything else around us."
We trip on our feet everywhere else.
That's a good job for them. And also, I know you didn't say it Well, you sort of briefly said it. Fable.
Oh yeah, okay. That wasn't the one I was talking about.
Oh,
But
because you
all
said
right.
Fable just before. I thought,
Oh yeah,
okay.
sorry, yeah.
I
No,
thought, oh, I thought he was
that
going to
wasn't
hold
the
that
other
for
game
like,
I was talking about that I figure you'll
oh,
cover, and I assume you'll still cover it.
no, I've only got one more. Oh, no, I do have two more actually. Fable's one. Don't
If
know what we'll see from that.
if you don't deliver it, I've got this one covered.
I don't know. Is it Doom? Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
I wrote Doom. Thank God. What's that
yeah,
noise?
that was Doom.
Oh, it is whatever that big one-eyed monster is. Yes, the medieval Doom. I want to see what
Yeah.
this medieval Doom looks like.
I play Doom soundtrack, but of course we're not going to get any Mick Gordon with this thing, so that's a bit disappointing. But
Or maybe who knows medieval music yet? I don't know any other musical composers that can do it. Yeah, local school band.
it's
With
got to
some
be
recorders.
medieval, but also metal. Jack
So
Black.
like Metal House here. Jack.
Just get Jack
Oh,
Black to come in and do
just
the
play
job.
Tenacious D. Just get your Tenacious D band. Get Dave Grohl from the Foo Fighters. Just
Oh,
get him in as the main
composed by
boss.
Dave Grohl.
Get him as the main boss, as the devil or Satan.
Get
That'd
around
be
it.
brilliant if that was the case. It won't happen, but it'd be absolutely hilarious if it would.
And yeah,
But no.
it used to be called Doom Year Zero. I've now forgotten the name of what it was
I
supposed
said
to
it
be
last week,
rebranded
and I
to.
completely forgot. Doom.
The Dark Ages.
Medieval. The Dark Ages. So hopefully that's, and also I just had OD as well because.
Oh yeah, Kojima, of course.
But I don't know.
How did we get through those Summer Games Fest without suggesting the Kojima rock up there?
I did do that.
Oh, did you?
I didn't say it though because it was either Death Stranding 2 for Kojima or OD. But
Yeah.
But yeah, but being that Sony showed absolutely nothing, I don't know what Kojima's doing. He was just hanging out with some more people, some other random dudes he just finds on the streets. He just say, "Hey, here's this guy." It's like, "Hey, I'm in Japan now. Hey, I'm in Los Angeles. Hey, I'm in
Yeah, true.
some other part of the world." It's like, "Are you making this game, Kojima, or are you just traveling, going to places and
Hey, I'm
taking
seeing
photos with people?"
Furiosa for the 16th time,
Oh,
which is
he's the
also
only
more than anyone else in the world that's apparently seen that movie.
I was going to
'cause
say he's probably making he's giving them all the money for it. That's what
It's-
their box office is.
it's well received, but it's bombing apparently.
Yes, because they thought it was Thor, and it's not Thor.
No.
Too bad.
So did you have any others for Xbox then? There's Fable,
That's
Doom I
it.
alluded to. I think you.
I'm all out. I'm all out of predictions.
All right. Well,
Or
then that
Xbox.
takes us to Nintendo, which I feel like is almost the hardest one to predict because they're in this weird spot before the new console. They've already specifically said that they're not going to show off the new console at this Nintendo Direct, so that kind of nips some of the energy in the bud a little bit. Doesn't mean they won't show some games that maybe like cross-generational or something like that, but I guess we'll discuss some of those shortly. So, actually, no, I'll start there. Metroid Prime 4.
I'll cross that one off.
I think, we
Go
maybe
on.
see some gameplay, maybe we get a release date. I feel like it could be the sort of one where maybe it comes out late this year, but then it's also their day and date, like a 4K res remastered version for the Switch 2 or whatever that console happens to be. I could also just as likely see Nintendo kind of hold on to it until they announce the new console and then say, and it's coming to Switch and its successor. So I don't know. It's a weird one. I hope that it comes back though. It's so overdue.
So will it be called the Super Switch?
I mean, I wouldn't object. I don't know. Yeah.
Super Nintendo Switch.
I feel like you could get away with it back in the day where you'd call it something like that and, Nintendo to Super Nintendo. That's all right. People understood it. I don't think people are smart enough these days to realize the difference there. And I think Wii and Wii U has kind of maybe proven that a little bit. So I don't think people understand unless it's Switch 2. I don't think people genuinely understand properly or unless it's Switch 2 or something totally different. So, yeah.
Okay. God damn it, people.
But Metroid Prime will potentially feature, even if it's just like a tease that's coming back, and then we see more when there's a bit of a blowout for the new console. The Zelda remasters, Twilight Princess and Wind Waker.
Ooh. Oh, finally.
People are
That'd be
screaming
great.
to get those off the Wii U. There's not many games left stranded on the Wii U. That and kind of Xenoblade Chronicles X, I think at this point, about the only really significant games left stranded on the platform. But also there's Zelda games stranded on the platform. So surely we take those away from the Wii U. It's been more than 12 months now. Or, sorry, by the time of this showcase. No, even now? Yeah, it's been more than 12 months since Tears of the Kingdom's come out. That
Yeah,
game has
mate.
sold more than 20
mate,
million copies already. Yeah. Sorry, I just got a little bit lost as to when that came out last year. They've sold 20 million copies. They're going to continue to sell, but I think people go nuts to get those games again on another new
yes.
platform. So
A true Zelda game. Bring a true Zelda game to the Switch.
Link's here to save us in the right ways.
Go play cartoon Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's the classic.
Yeah.
It pretty much is.
It's awesome.
It's great.
And no regrets there. Next one is a response to some more leaks and kind of rumors more than anything else. Actually, sorry, I wouldn't say leaks. More response to rumors in the last few days. This is not a Nintendo specific one, but I think it'll be shown here. Remember how Square Enix announced Dragon Quest 3 HD 2D?
Yes.
Yeah. They kind of, because it was Dragon Quest Day last week or something like that, but not, there's a day for everything these days, but it was celebrating, I think, the 30th anniversary or big milestone, another birthday anyway for the original game, and they put out a little post there teasing the third game, but they didn't put that logo in there, and they kind of referenced it as more of a trilogy, which the first three games kind of were. And so I think that, and considering also how long it's taken, like it's not hard to, game development is hard, but considering everything else they've done and how fast your Octopaths have come out and those, the various other games using that engine, I think at some point they realized, maybe just remaking the third game is not enough. We actually need to maybe bundle 1, 2, and 3 together. And so I think that's what's happened. And I think it might get re-revealed at this thing, and then it's going to be out pretty soon, because the first game was like 8 hours long, the second game was about 16, and the third game was about 30, something like that. So a 50-hour experience kind of falls in line with what they've been doing with these other HD 2D games anyway. And that might explain why there was a bit of a delay, because they kind of decided, hang on, we need to actually do more with this thing. And so I think that's what we're going to get. And I think Square Enix will bring that one to the table. I assume no thoughts on Dragon Quest, though.
No.
So my final two. The first one is Donkey Kong. I think Donkey Kong's got to resurface. Linking in, I guess, with the idea of Metroid Prime 4 gameplay, it's been 11 years since Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze. It's been 11 years, and this kind of goes back to the Metroid Prime part of it as well. It's been 11 years since Retro put out that game as well, because obviously it was a near the end of Wii U game. I think we did get a remaster on the Switch for that one, but it's been 11 years since they actually put out a brand new game. It's been 11 years since we got in Donkey Kong. I think it's kind of time. I'd love it to be a big 3D one, like a Donkey Kong 64 style 3D one. Maybe not the same level of collectathon, but hell, even if they just announce that it's coming to the Nintendo, like Donkey Kong 64 is coming to the Nintendo Switch Online, that'd be huge. I'd be stoked for that. But right now, it's just anything would be good. Just give me a new 3D Donkey Kong, I say. So there's that one, and the last one is Captain Toad Treasure Tracker 2. That first game is unreal. Wii U game, made its way to the Switch. Still great there, and I'd love to see a sequel. I think it's the right sort of game that Nintendo might put out in the dying stages of the Switch, where it's not your big blockbuster title. It's in fact kind of what they did with the original game, where it kind of came out there in the dying days of the Wii U. But it was really, really good. So I'm hopeful that with this next one we get it firstly, and then hopefully we get it kind of soon. So my hope is, and it's a bit more of a hope with this one, that Captain Toad Treasure Tracker 2 gets announced. Over to you, mate.
All right, so I'll start off with just get the one out of the way straight away. Tears of the Kingdom DLC. That's just we'll get that one out of the way. I don't care about it. I did, funny enough, when I went to New Zealand, I did see Tears of the Kingdom in the duty-free section for like
really?
$59, and I said no. I walked away. And it wasn't sale. I was like, I could have brought that. I was like, it wasn't full price, nothing. And I just went, you know what? No. And to this day. But I reckon there'll be some sort of Zelda or Tears of the Kingdom DLC, whatever the hell it is. I don't know, because I haven't played the game. So
yeah, no, we're in no hurry.
Either am I. And then you said something Metroid Prime 4. I'm gonna go and say that they
Ooh.
announced Metroid Prime 2 remaster, and then they'll drop it like they did last year with Metroid Prime on the
Couple of
same
weeks or
day.
whatever it was. Oh, was it the
No,
same day?
the digitally it was like available today, and if I was listening,
Oh yeah,
I was
that's
like
right.
one of those people. I was like, you can't do this to me, Nintendo. You can't just go dropping games on me like that. And the hard copy was about a month later. So
Yeah, right.
I don't. If they could just go, you know what? Let's just put 2 and 3 together, remastered, and give it to
Get
the
them both
people.
out. Yeah, that'd be cool.
Get them both
That'd
out.
be really
But
cool.
if let's say if they do announce a Metroid Prime 4 release date, just
Yeah,
like what
sweet.
they did with like Pikmin 4, like they just said 1 and 2 is now available, remastered, whatever it is. That
That
whatever.
was that in the end? Was that before 4 came out?
I think it was after. I
After.
feel like it was after, but I
Maybe
don't
they
know.
could do a
But
similar
it was
sort
the
of thing for
same
Metroid.
situation. Like they said, Pikmin 1 and 2 available now to download. I was like, oh, you bastards! Like, why you do this to me?
Think of the people, please.
What's that? Is that 2 or 3? I can't remember. One. That's 2. Okay. My next one is I'd like it to happen. It won't. Another Astral Chains game.
Oh, that'd be great.
It would be great, but it's one of those things. Will it? And I
No.
sort of feel like the answer is no.
No.
Which is a shame because it was a great game, but they probably just got other games that they'll just make like that weird teen like detective shit that I just don't understand. I was like, I'm so confused about this whole thing. Uh, Next one is something Disney. I don't know what. It would just be
Disney.
like we've seen in the past, like the racing game, the amusement park
Yeah.
thing. I
And
just
they
feel
had
like this
the
is
Mickey
gonna be
Mouse in
something.
Illusion Island thing only last year as well.
Oh yeah, and also yeah, that could be another thing too. With the whole Steamboat Willie no longer copyrighted, we might see something
You'll see one
family
of those
friendly
horror
there.
ones appear.
Oh yeah, oh god. Now, I will admit it's quite funny to see. You see this childlike thing you grow up with, like happy this and that, and then you see it in the.
Murderous.
It's like life after TV. That's what it is. Those horror ones.
Winnie
It's
the Pooh,
just
Blood and Honey, or whatever it was.
oh god, that's just. It's funny. Like I'll admit, like I see the funny side of things. People are like, oh, you can't do that. You can't ruin your childhood.
He's
Like yeah,
sacred.
you can. You can. Just go
Yeah.
back to. Just go back to your safe space and just go watch YouTube and watch
Go play
all
Lies
the.
of P. You'll have a great time.
Yes. Oh yeah, yeah. You're a real boy,
And it's
as said in Shrek.
not his nose that he's using for a sword.
It's an actual sword. Shocking. There's no jokes there. I don't know how many that is. What else? I was going to say, you said that. Okay, my final one. You said it before.
Oh.
And I feel like it will go dark, and the DK rap will begin.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go. It's gonna go dark. 3 green lights.
3 green lights. Oh,
Sam Fisher
yeah.
returns.
I'm surprised we didn't even say that. The old 3 green lights. But I feel
It's
like
been a while since we've referenced that one. And
yeah, I feel like Donkey Kong 64 will be available same day, Nintendo Switch online.
good. Long overdue.
Oh, I think it's like out of all the games on 64, I feel like that's the final big one, maybe. Off the top of my head, I can't
I'd
really
have to have
think.
a bit of a look. So
Because I feel like, unless I'm pretty sure the Zelda games would be on there. Let's see. Diddy Kong Racing's not on there yet either. So maybe they'll go with the double whammy and go Diddy Kong Racing and Donkey Kong 64.
yeah, maybe.
All the rare games out there, just except for Conker's Bad Fur Day, not family friendly. So leave that one off
Yeah, we'll leave Conquer alone for now.
for now. I think that's all I've got. What else do I have? I had GameCube catalog, but that's if. That was if the consoles get announced, but that's a no.
Yeah, I'm with you on the GameCube idea, and I did think about it beforehand, but yeah, I think it's something that they'll kind of save up their sleeve for the new consoles reveal. So it'd be great if that wasn't the case, and it comes even sooner. But yeah, I'm with you, mate. Well, any other thoughts then? Anything that like, did we tick off all of your Summer Games Fest things in the end, or did we hold on to those?
Oh no, I could do. Oh no, what did I do?
Bioshock.
Bioshock I did not have. I should have had. There's all these games that I keep forgetting. You just see people say like this, it's those games I completely forgot about. All I had was Assassin's Creed Shadows gameplay.
Yeah,
Who
maybe,
knows?
but
That
obviously,
might
yeah,
maybe
Ubisoft
not.
forward.
But like I said, they got their Ubisoft forward, so they might use it for that. Also had something Star Wars because there's a whole heap of Star Wars games.
Yeah, there's
People made.
Outlaws, but there's the one from Quantic Dream, the one's kind of set in that High Republic period. I think, yeah, we've obviously got what goes on at Respawn with the Jedi
And
games.
whatever the Knights of the Old Republic is doing is.
Oh my
Yeah,
god, yeah. Who knows with that one?
yeah, we won't talk about that one because we don't. No one knows what's going on with that at the moment.
Whether
Someone said,
PlayStation's disowned it.
someone said it's rubbish, and then that was the end of it. The other thing I had was something AI nobody will like because hey, Neil Dugman, old Naughty Dog thing, like, oh, we got this best game coming out. No, one cares
And
about
then
it.
it just
Shut up,
turns out it's an AI game.
you idiot.
He's like,
You
oh,
add them,
you've been waiting so long for The Last of Us Part 3, so we got AI to make it.
it'd be just like the PC version of The Last of Us remaster. It's just
Bad.
absolute shit show. Borderlands 4, which probably
Oh,
won't happen. As much as I know they only announced it last year after they got purchased by Take Two, and they said, "Oh, make Borderlands 4." Like,
of
cool,
course.
can't wait. But because there's a movie, you don't think there will be nothing happening there. And my
Or,
final one,
or that's reason for them to announce it.
or that too.
That could be very, yeah,
And
it
then,
could be one of two very clear ways, I think.
and then the final one was every PlayStation game that should have appeared at the State of Play, which was
The
everything.
Spidey DLC, Ghost, there's Lego Horizon, there's Horizon Remake, there's Horizon Online, there's
Yeah,
oh
all
my
those
God.
games. All those
Yeah.
games we predicted, and none of them appeared.
PlayStation could go real big with this thing still. So,
What? Are they finally bringing the kitchen sink this time?
no, I don't think so.
Finally.
I think we might get Spidey DLC, and we might get. I could see three. I could see Spidey DLC. I could see Lego Horizon. I could see Ghost. I could also see Ghost not happening as well. So I don't know. It's a weird one. Any other thoughts on Summer Games Fest? Xbox, Nintendo.
Just be good.
Yeah, just hopefully they're good. That's
or
that
or
is-
just
yeah.
lower the bar. I don't know what you do. I think people's expectations seem to be a bit too high. Or
as we throw the kitchen
As
sink at
we
our
found
predictions,
out.
but
yes, but like with the PlayStation showcase, it's like, oh, we got to get some games. It's like, hey, here's a PvP game that no one cares about.
as
Great.
soon as they rebranded it State of Play, my expectations fell through the floor. So
And then the most exciting game was a kid-like game, which I'm not having to go with
it's a damn
Astro.
good one. Astro's awesome.
But even I looked at it and went, I want to play that. And all these PvP games that they put out, it's like, oh, here's another PvP game. It's like, I don't give a shit about your
Yeah.
stupid PvP games. They can go in the bin with everything else.
Yeah, pretty much. It could be a pretty interesting few days. I will just kind of say at the end here, Xbox, I'm a little bit flat and disappointed that I know things are obviously a bit of a mess for you right now, and maybe organising live shows around the world isn't necessarily a priority. I'm a bit disappointed though that they haven't, and Xbox Australia, if you're watching, that they
no
haven't got
Fortress.
they haven't got the big viewing party essentially like at Fortress like they've done the last few years. That was an awesome event. Had a great time with it, and I've been thinking about it a little bit more since I kind of got bowled over with COVID because I was looking for anything to warm me up while I was kind of isolating myself in the shed for giant chunks of time, and I found my big Xbox hoodie that they gave me when I went to I think the very first one, and then there's like the bag that they gave me hanging off here. Where are
Was
we?
there a Starfield thing they gave you as well?
Yep, there's the Starfield jacket here, which is really kind of cool. Like
Oh, look at that. I just
And
saw
it's
the
got-
galaxy inside
it's
there.
got my handle
On the inner
on
part.
it, like it's got. Like and forgetting the loot and all those sorts of things, which is cool, and I think especially for the really hardcore Xbox gamers, like it's a really cool aspect that they added to the whole thing. But honestly, it was just a great time. Like you got to spend with a bunch of people that were, some you knew, some you didn't, that were really just excited about all things Xbox. And on the media side, you just got to hang out with some friends and talk about the various different things that were going on, and it was a great time. I'm a bit disappointed they didn't have that this year. I think in LA they're doing it, and I presume that's where like Phil and Sarah and those sorts of folks are going to be. But it's a bit of a missed opportunity. I mean, they had Larry Herb or Major Nelson come out for the first one. They had some developers from which team came out? I think it might have been Redfall. No, actually it wasn't because the game wasn't out. I can't remember who. They had developers come out though last year as well. It was cool. They'd done a good job of it, and this year they're just not doing it, which is a bit of a shame. So, meanwhile, Nintendo's got their Nintendo Live event that's coming in at the end of August in Sydney. So, props to Nintendo for doing live in-person events.
And props to Nintendo for turning up at PAX last year.
Yeah, unlike Xbox and PlayStation. But anyway, we won't sink the boots in there. We've got more time to suss out what's going to happen with PAX this year. Well, people who've been watching and listening, you've gone through nearly an hour of predictions. Nearly an hour. Somehow this balloons out of whack every single time. 30 game predictions that spanned 60 minutes almost. Anyway, let us know in the comments on social media what you think is going to feature. Are there any predictions we've made that are rubbish? Others that we maybe...
Oh, all of them.
Outside of the ones that have leaked, we're probably wrong in every other regard.
Outside, tabs on mine.
I'm gonna keep my thing here, and I'm gonna start ticking things off as we go. But I think it counts if it appears at any of those showcases.
Oh yeah, I'll count it no matter
like
what.
An Xbox game or a Nintendo game happens to be at Summer Games Fest, so be it.
Even if they mention it, I'm counting it. Like, if they say Metroid Prime 4 is like, hey, Metroid Prime 4 is getting, we're still working on it. Cool.
Metroid Prime 4 is getting cancelled. Tick.
Tick. Done. Predicted.
Let us know in the comments though what you think, what some of your predictions are, what you think of ours. Hit us up on social media. Visit the website player2.net.au for reviews, previews, opinion pieces, news, features, links to the podcast series Patch, the Player 2 Pixelcast and Dev Diary. I haven't already done it, but subscribe to the YouTube channel where you can check out more episodes of Patched. There's Player 2 Plays. There's a whole bunch of awesome stuff, shorts, all on the YouTube channel. We're on Patreon, patreon.com/player2au. Kick it a few bucks. Lower tiers, early access. Higher tiers, monthly episode exclusives. And finally, there's Twitter. Matto.
Matto_Phil.
Paul James Games for myself. The website is player2au. And until next week, where we can recap Summer Games Fest and the Xbox Showcase most likely. We'll talk about our schedules after. Thanks a lot for watching, and hope Helldivers is there too.